Good morning and welcome to your daily inspiration with Ross. Today we're going to be talking about choice, but we're going to take it a little bit further than we did yesterday, because today we're going to talk about choosing our emotional state. I love this, and when I first discovered it, I was a bit skeptical. I'm like, you can't choose your emotional state. Something happens and you react, and how you react is just the way it is. But that's not just the way it is, because when we look around at other people, we'll notice that they react differently to the way that we do. Let me give you an example. So maybe you're going on a road trip. You're driving along the side of the road. You've been on your trip for maybe an hour, 2 hours, and the car breaks down. You're in the middle of nowhere, and the car breaks down, and you've only just started your trip. Then you'll notice that the people in the car react differently. Some might react with anger, upset, fear, and whatever it might be. You might even find that someone in the group will just laugh or just burst out in laughter, and everybody else is just looking at them like, why do they find this funny? It's because it's a choice. Now, we don't realize it's a choice because most of our choices, by the time we become an adult, we've actually made them on a conscious level enough times that they become a subconscious choice. So we've taught ourselves how to react in situations. Therefore, when something happens, we simply react and choose our emotional state on a subconscious level. Now you get the opportunity to bring that back on a conscious level. So because it is a choice, we have control over it. As a human being, we have a control over the choices we make. That means that we can now choose our emotional state. Now, if this is the first time you've ever tried to do this, you're probably going to need a little bit of help. So let me run you through a quick exercise on choosing your emotional state. Once you've practiced this, by the way, it becomes really easy. Like, it might require a bit of practice, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. So the first choice that we're going to make is about being happy. So before we do, how you're feeling right now emotionally. Let's say number one is, we'll pick sad. Number one is sad, and number 10 is really, really happy, like the happiest you've been, and one's the saddest you've been. Excuse me. On emotional state right now, just notice what number you're on and say that number now. Okay, great. So that's where you're at right now. So I want you to think about the happiest moment of your life. What was that happiest moment? What was that time that just made you really, really happy? It could be something that was recent, it could be something a while ago. I want you to think about a time that made you happy. As you think about a time that made you happy, what was it about that time? Where were you? Who were you with? What were you doing? And can you remember how you felt? Were you laughing out loud? Was it one of those times? Or did you just feel really good inside? And as you do that, I want you to notice what number your happiness is on now. Hey, one of my boys is up. Good morning, how are you? Good. That's good. So just notice how you're feeling right now. Now, on the other side of that, let's choose a time that made us sad. Let's have a think about that. So think about a time, it may have been a long time ago, it might have been a recent time, a time that made you really sad, it really hurt, or, emotional pain, or whatever it was, and it made you really sad. And as you're thinking about that time, I want you to notice now, on a scale from 1 to 10, how you feel. You'll notice now that it's actually dropped. So let's shake that one off, and let's think about that good time again. Let's think about that time that made us super, super happy. The time that it was a laugh out loud happy, or whatever it might happen to be. And just notice now, as you start thinking about that time, about how good it felt, and about that laughter and the happiness and who you were with and just the warmth you felt inside. And notice how good that feels. And as you do, notice how you're feeling and how on a scale from 1 to 10 that's increasing again. So that's one way you can practice choosing your emotional state. If you're ever somewhere and you want to feel happier, just simply think of a happier time and really connect and get into that. What's up, mate? You can do a wee, off you go. Yes, you can use the lemon tree. So just think of that time, a time that made you super happy, and embrace it, think about it, and you'll notice how good you're feeling. And then with practice, you'll just be able to pick your emotional state straight away. And that's why I love this, choosing happiness, because it is simply just a choice. And every moment of every day, you can just choose to be happy. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. Do not let circumstance determine your state of mind, the happiness or sadness or whatever you're in. Do not let your circumstances control how you feel, because you are actually in control of how you feel. So have an awesome day today, choosing how to be super, super happy every moment of every day, because that, I believe, is the only way to live happy. Have an awesome day today, and I look forward to seeing the happy you next time we catch up. Have a good day.